a little bit, and we'll get him going. We're going to tinker all day and try my airplane together, and Dan's going to try to do some work on his. I figured that I would show the repair. That's not square. It's not on the line. And I guess it don't matter.
See, 21 will give us about 3/8 of an inch of overlap for the
right
spinner ring.
All right, I figured I'd show this repair. Now, if you guys been following my sanding videos, which I know you guys love and do follow the sanding videos, you know that when I put this filler in here to get this flat, I sanded through right there. Well, this morning when I come over, I was debating, am I going to cut this all out and replace the patch? Or what I did was I took an X-Acto blade and I pulled up the tissue level with this, and there's a patch on this. You probably can see it here very faintly. There's a patch right there, and it goes all the way over like that. Well, it being a pain in the ass, you know, very frustrating, these things tend to happen. So, as Dan and I were talking last night, the difference between a journeyman builder and a novice builder is knowing how to get out of the mistakes and not and you know, so that you can't tell. So that's what I did. Is this morning I tore a piece of silk span around there. Oh, and we didn't get to show it because we were out in the garage. I did not dope it down until after I put this on wet. Pulled it up, got the Windex on the patch, smoothed it off here on this side, pulled it over, pulled the wrinkles out, put it down wet, and then I doped this whole bay right here. And after it's got 3 coats on it now, we're not going to sand it though. Sanding has been kind of my downfall. Till I get probably 3-4 more coats on it, and then I'll sand it, and you will not be able to tell that that's been done. John's wing, his is wider than, I didn't have any white dope. I can really tell your wing is way wider than mine. But we're going to throw some white dope in with my clear. I guess I'll just stick with that 15-year-old clear dope. We need to get rid of it.
Yeah, get rid of it before it turns like that and you show them that stuff. This has been sitting down here in the basement.
Now, you guys remember I took my little bead chemical stir and reconstituted some dope, but look at his dope. That has made a turd in the bottom of that can that won't reconstitute. I bet if you put some MEK on it, it would.
I've tried fresh thinner.
MEK.
Yeah, I know, but then you're changing everything about it. Why is this doing it? I had brand new cans of Brodak dope that did this stuff, unopened. Now this had thinner added to it. It was ready to go on an airplane for base coat. And I tried stirring it up, but it just puts lumps in it. It won't totally.
You know, now that I think about it, is that Brodak dope?
No.
It's Randolph?
It's Randolph.
But is it?
Randolph.
How new is that?
It's probably a year.
So it's the new formula.
Yeah, it's been in this jar for a year, down in the basement, not out in the garage where it's suffered winter time.
It doesn't matter. It don't matter. Remember that can I brought over here? 50 years old.
Yeah.
and it was fine.
Yeah.
So they're doing something to the dope now.
Now, this had thinner in it. And I find that this does it with thinner, but it does it without thinner too. Because, like I said, I had brand spanking new gallon of Brodeck dope and quarts of Brodeck dope that congealed unopened in the can, no thinner added to them or anything, brand spanking new. And I called Brodeck up and asked them about it, and they sort of laughed at me.
Well, I bought that can of Crystal Clear, and it was crystal brown. Remember that?
Yeah.
When I opened it?
Yeah.
So they're doing something. Not quite sure what it is, but they're doing something. All right, we're going to go through alignment and what we're doing here. I guess maybe ought to set the camera up on the other end. You probably need to pull up these legs here. Get it up as high as possible. Now, we've shown this several times, but, you know, learning is remembering, or teaching is reminding, learning is remembering. So, maybe this will help you, maybe it won't. Okay, camera set up. Let me get the cord to get it charging. This feels awful good. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
$70 ounces.
Well, could very well be.
We're at the make or break stage of an airplane right now, the finish. If you put it on the paint stand and paint it until the stand bends, you know you got too much paint on it. Danny's gonna bring me a gallon of silver.
He said he had a whole bunch of 1-coat primer. Guaranteed to go on a 1/4 inch thick.
Yeah. There it is. Okay. All right, there's a few things we need to do before we get down to the nitty gritty there. First thing, flap's got to come off of this.
Now watch out, because I'm going to be putting a bunch of pointy things on this table. And of course the glue bottle's plugged up.
I brought glue. not know why this thing is so difficult. Let me have the chop cutoff saw. It's got to be quick on that side. Oh, crap.
Take you long to look at a hot piece of metal, doesn't it?
Phew, you smell it. Did you see my fingers smoke when I touched it?
No, but I can smell that nasty ass smell.
Yeah, the inspection was quick. Okay, I'm just gonna eyeball 1/8 inch.
You need to solder down here.
What?
You said you needed to solder something?
Yeah, we're gonna have to solder this on
Push rod?
before I put it together. You notice I didn't cut all the way through there because I'm afraid that if I cut it all the way through, it would go onto the silk span and boop, burn a hole right through the wing. We got a pair of pliers. Yeah, no good. I'm gonna hold on to this while I finish cutting it through. I think getting a little pair of vice grips might be better.
Will that push rod come out of there right now? Completely out of there?
No.
You don't have a washer on it yet either.
What, on the other end?
On that.
Yeah, I need a washer on
Back
here.
washer.
Washer on here, then put this on and put a washer
That
on.
means we gotta hold the wing while we put the washer on there.
Why?
Will it stick out past the wing where we don't,
Oh, yeah.
won't drip solder on it or anything?
Yeah. need to glue this in too before we put this together. So, but boy, that black shit went everywhere. Needs a good wipe down before I too much more doping.
Let's see.
3/32. I need to take my sweatshirt off. Yeah. My hoodie. I was playing John Festerman.
Yeah.
The Fester. That guy's goofy.
Don't go having no stroke or something.
You doing drilling a washer?
I'm drilling a little piece of plywood so we can put it on that rod and then push that washer up against it, and it'll be square that washer up.
Let me get the iPad going so we can watch the chat.
Thought that might wobble out big enough.
Hey, there you are. I see you. Hey, Craig, I was gifted a Windy Strega arc wing. No flaps, no horn, no dope. 507 grams. Was gifted a Strega arc wing. Let's see. 507. $18 ounces. Wow. No flaps.
No covering, no flaps, no nothing.
No horn, no tissue, no dope. 507. Divided by 28.3. Yeah, 1789, 17, 18, 19, 20. Wow. Well, Craig, that wing that I got right here, finished with flaps, 3 coats of dope, and covering is 14 ounces. So you tell me. They're about the same wing area. Sound like Dan maybe here. I didn't put with Dan on there because Dan ain't here yet, but Dan's coming. You broke it.
Push down on it right there.
It'll be fine.
I'm just trying to put that on there so it holds that washer flat.
Yeah. It'll be fine. Yeah, you didn't hurt it. Have I weighed the fuselage? It's got the engine in it now, so I guess I could take it out. I don't remember what it weighs. Let's see, 332nd ball driver. 332nd. This girl gotta come apart anyway, so.
Is that the only washer needs soldered?
One on the outside. Gotta solder it onto the horn. Put the horn on it and solder one on the
Oh,
outside.
you're gonna solder it on there. You're not gonna use a wheel collar?
No. What weighs more, a washer or wheel collar?
Yeah, well, you need to do any repairing or anything like that. Wheel collars are better. And you gotta glue them on and everything else to keep them from. Yeah, that thing.
Okay, fuselage and rudder.
Over there by that stab.
Shit, I can't get it. Eight 8.2 ounces with the rudder. And before you solder that on, probably need to,
Need a piece of cardboard.
before we do that, I need to adjust these. You see how this one's down? I gotta, or file it up or whatever.
Everything in line.
Where's the square file?
There's all sorts of pokey stuff, so.
Yeah, I know. We probably should epoxy this on before you solder it. Of course, I don't know. No, because we might have to take it out so that it lays down.
That's right.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be upside down on there. That control horn might. It might push the table, maybe not.
Did you listen to this?
I can hear the wind moving.
No dinkers.
No dinkers? Yeah, I don't have any dinkers in mine either yet. Till I push in one of them hinges. Alright, now I need the match pad.
I don't think we need to solder this on until it's together, because it's probably gonna have to lay down, you know what I mean? Let me see that one. It's probably gonna have to be in like that. Here comes lunch. Okay, so those. Well, they both look like they need to go up. Bonk. I think we'll mix up some epoxy and glue this in and not put it in on the push rod until after it's in the fuselage. So if you've got the iron hot, unless you want to leave it run, probably should.
No, I unplugged it.
Yeah.
That needs to be in there though, otherwise you can't get the doggone thing in there.
Right, okay. So that's centered now. Need some epoxy to put down in there.
What do you want?
5-minute epoxy is fine. It's pretty important that you center the hinges up in the trailing edge. I got another batch of hinges coming, so if somebody wants to buy some from me, I gotta figure out how many I got and how much it cost me. I don't even know how much it's gonna cost on this batch, you know, everything's gone up.
What you guys up to?
Nothing.
Hey!
There's lunch!
Got lunch.
Huh?
Got my lunch. I gotta bring it in.
The Dan man.
What,
Boy,
you
it's
bring your airplane?
Oh yeah, it's all out there. Yeah.
Good.
Hey, remember what we were talking about last night about the wing here?
Yeah.
All fixed.
Yeah. You didn't even have to tell me. I would have never known. Maybe. Yeah. It's okay.
Remember what we were talking about? You know, difference between a journeyman and a
Apprentice.
apprentice. I explained it all to him.
What's this wing going to, John?
That's another Geo wing.
Yeah, that's nice looking.
Cutting all them ribs out, say, what, 0.8 of an ounce?
Yeah.
Almost an ounce. Here you go, bud. So how was the ride over?
Us. Easy. No traffic. Till you get it close to Dayton, and it's 10 o'clock Dayton on a Saturday. It's like rush hour.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Everybody's trying to get their crap
Yeah.
done before the ball games, the college games come on and all that stuff.
Don't put so much in there that it drips down on that belt crank.
Yeah, you're gonna push it all the way through anyway. Got just a cap full of epoxy left in those 2 tubes, and I've been trying to use every little bit of it.
Yeah.
Now it's a matter of holding and babysitting.
Does it look the same as you remember?
You know, it looks exactly the same. Not only that, I think that I-beam was in the same place it was last time.
I've been there for 4 years.
Don't feel bad. I got
Give me a clean toothpick.
a Mike Dietrich coverall framed up, the bubble canopy. It's been hanging for 25 years. It's good and kiln dried. It's been hanging above the water heater.
Oh, it'll be lighter now.
I was watching some of them old videos, windy videos, you know, 97, and
Yeah.
I'm looking, all them guys are dead.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, you gotta watch that stuff.
Yeah.
It'll get to you if you
Yeah.
think about it too much.
I was watching, it was a windy video, and the Allen Brick House and
Dead.
John Davis.
Dead.
I mean, they're all, yeah.
They're all
Bob,
gone.
Bob Gieske.
Dead. Did I tell you about his casket?
You told me, but I can't remember what it was. Did something.
Well, it should have been painted red, and I told that to Christy, his daughter.
Yeah.
We showed up, there was myself, Hey Jack, who's dead,
Mhm.
and Mike Scott,
Yeah.
and that's it as far as control line flyers went at Giske's funeral. They cut his beard off. So, you know, they had an open casket.
Yeah.
They cut his beard off, didn't hardly look like him. I said, hey, where's his pipe? So we got him a pipe.
Yeah.
I said, where's the handle? We got him the handle. But his coffin was the most beautiful white pine, clear finished white pine box you ever saw.
Yeah.
Perfect. It was this painted with clear dough poly, but it should have been red.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should
Or
have been red. Yeah.
Maybe a red and white stripe down the side. Or
Right,
something,
it
you
should
know.
have been
Yeah,
just
could've
like
been-
it.
Big check mark
Yeah.
right.
And when Alan passed away, the only control line guys there were Gary Hayjack, myself, Jim Lynch, and Charlie Reeves.
It's got an engine in it, Dan.
No, it don't.
Oh, it don't.
And 10,000 kids.
Really? Oh, yeah. All the students. Yeah.
All-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his calling, you know, working with the beginners, intermediate, all the kids, all the stuff he did.
He was a band teacher in school.
Yeah.
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a natural. Wow, you got room for a 12-ounce tank in there.
Yep.
That was a mistake I made once I didn't have enough room for a bigger tank.
How we going on the epoxy? Is it dry yet?
Nope.
Oh, looks good. That's nice. Hey, gotta go up there and get my stuff out of the truck. I'm gonna give you
Yeah,
those
let me get
sticks to
out.
put in the fridge.
Help you.
For God's sakes, we don't want the steaks going bad.
No dog getting in there or anything like
I
that.
got them on ice. We'll be right back. Mark.
All right. We got steaks for lunch. I think we'll broadcast a little lunch. So I'm just babysitting this until the epoxy dries. like it might be a while. I might have a problem here. Not sure until I get the fuselage on, but I'm going to cut this wider. Ooh. Got a lot of pokey things on the bench here. I don't know if that's going to work or not. We shall see. And have you weighed the fuselage? Yeah, I told you what it was. We got 13 watchers. Hey, you guys need to chat on there. Give us some input. "37 minutes in. To get to see Danny's airplane. Got a really unique cockpit on it. Canopy. I guess we could start cutting this fuselage up. There's plenty to do. I'll take this off. So now I'm cutting the top and bottom blocks off of this so that we can cut the fuselage in the center and plug it together. This is a real quick job. It's I just don't want to put my fuselage in this glue. Boy, that would be disaster. If you get a glue spot on the fuselage, epoxy, whew, that would be a disaster. Okay. Now this block has been hollowed, but it's not finished. So this was the thing I was talking about I didn't have in St. Louis when I was sanding on it. Let's see how close I came. Because I did this the old-fashioned way with candling. And see, up here it's 3/16. A light 3/16. 3/16. Yeah, I can get more out of this, so we'll make this lighter. And this thing's 3/16 everywhere. So we're gonna keep sanding on that until we get her down to 3/32. I gotta try to get these little dents out of this before I put it together. Okay, let's cut the turtle deck off. You know what? I'm going to measure, because we're going to have to brace this up so it doesn't lose any of its width. Need to mark it before I get any farther. These registry marks are to measure so that I can have an index to measure from. That should be fine back there. Put them here. And I'll explain this when I do it. That shouldn't matter because we got the former in there. Let's cut that off. So these won't matter back here, but I need a measurement here. Yeah, we're gonna have a problem there. What'd you bring?
Steak,
What is that?
little science fair project.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Little show and tell. Got the plane, all the covering. It's in the truck. Probably won't bring it down here. Just
Yeah,
Slap
dope.
some
You
dope.
got a dope?
Yeah.
You don't got no dope, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do?
I got a gallon of silver, primer.
Oh boy.
Got everything we need.
Oh boy.
I'm just kidding, Spark. I got some clue.
You ain't got nothing. I'm sure we got it out
Oh,
there.
I know it. I didn't come over here to use all your stuff up.
Well, you're bringing the steaks. It's the least we could do.
Got John's threshold material up there. Now I better go unload that.
He said he's gonna make them.
Yeah. I mean, if not, I want to come back and help him. At least he's got the wood to look at and mess with.
I don't know if they could find it or what. What's the deal with?
Well, the stuff I brought was left over from a job site. It was scrap. It was either gonna go in the dumpster or somebody take it, They were building the stairs, white oak. You know, it was just cutoffs from the riser and the tread. It'd be easy brazing this copper down here. I did that in a crawl space. After 3 hours of doing that, it got old.
Yeah.
Okay, let me check on John, unload the rest of that stuff.
Okay, we got this cut loose. So now we're going to cut the fuselage right here. Yes. I don't know what he did with his back. There's his saw right there. Use the back saw. Ooh.
Use a non-fattening kind.
Oh yeah. No butter.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you believe that, I've got some property, I can say. Got a couple fridges on it.
Hate to say it, but I mean, those are the best brownies I've ever had. I mean, those are good.
We make stuff with real butter. If it calls for lard, it gets lard, you know.
Wow.
A couple more. Another one here, Dan. Come on.
So what'd you have here? 5-minute epoxy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll eat it if you don't. You gonna eat it?
You can have it. There's more up there, I think.
Yeah, there's a whole pan of them. So. I figure everybody's getting hungry.
Matter of fact, we just put them in my truck so you wouldn't get them. I'm just kidding, we didn't do it.
All right, what you got going here?
Getting ready to cut this thing apart.
This is the hole saw you're talking about?
Yep, best tool.
Yeah.
That's John's.
Yeah, they're nice.
When I got mine, it was $18. It's probably $25 now.
I bought that, it was 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of the Japanese saws that are, I mean, the really good ones are even more than that.
Oh yeah, they go way up there. You get the true one.
Well, here's some tank parts.
So what?
Tank parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta finish sanding on them, on the tank body. I milled a
Hold on.
a taper in it.
Oh, yeah. I can see it.
That draft angle to be.
Mm-hmm. Does it help?
I haven't pulled one on it yet.
Okay.
I still gotta buff them out from the milling process.
So what's this on the stab? Light silk span?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks good.
Well, let's see if my measurements are right. Probably not. Yeah, needs a little sanding. I don't know, maybe. Yeah.
reinforce it, make it fit, otherwise you end up with a banana.
What we got going here? Oh, no. Wait a minute. Gotta go. It's not deep enough.
Take it off there and let's do a measurement here. Measure from here to here,
Not deep enough.
and here to here.
I'm gonna have to move my firewall forward.
Got about
2 inches?
inch and 5/8.
No, inch and 5/8.
No, an inch and not quite
Inch and 7/8.
Not quite 7/8. See the glare.
I got 2. I gotta move this ahead. We're gonna have to cut that out of there. And move it forward.
2 1/4.
And that's rulers. Whew. How come they don't make it so that these numbers are over here? Oh, this is that backwards ruler.
That's a centering rule.
That's a left-handed ruler, not a right-handed.
It's,
Where's a real ruler?
it's a centering rule.
Yeah. Here we go. And this is still ass backwards, really. So we got 2 1/8, and that was 1 inch and 7/8. I got to move this forward 1/4 of an inch.
Look at this little Tupperware of science projects. Look at that. I got a drawer full of these things, science projects. Ooh, that's
Dihedral
okay.
and swept forward trailer.
Okay.
Well, one of them was that was just swept forward trailing.
Yeah.
edge. There's
Yeah.
probably one in there that's got dihedral and swept forward.
Let me measure this again.
But I changed things when I did that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really have to bend that.
Like that, you can just
No, you can cut say this is swept forward here.
Keep it
You can
square.
cut this off straight,
yeah.
the width of the
Inch and
fuselage, and then just leave that horn straight. And if you've got dihedral,
What was that?
I just hit that.
Inch and 7/8.
If you got dihedral, you just make the ends of it centered in the wing.
Yeah.
And let the center run high or low or wherever it's going to run, and just
Yeah.
run it straight, and it works just fine.
Yeah.
So that was back in my Al Raby days of him wanting you to bend that around the trailing edge of the wing and wrap it and all that stuff, and it's all under tension and everything, and
Yeah.
they would want to like flop and lock because of you were
The bend.
bowing them around.
Yeah. Who was?
I don't know. That's a store-bought job.
Yeah. It's a little.
That's just, no, it's a SIG, isn't it? Yeah. Looks like
I
it.
was gonna make at one point in time a double control horn,
Mm-hmm.
so I could adjust flaps individually, and that was part of the project, and I abandoned it because I didn't think it was necessary.
Well,
Just adding too much weight.
yeah. Walker talked about that. I told Sparky, I said, I don't think there's many out there. I said, you could laser cut the tabs for that, you know, and I don't know, if it's done right, it wouldn't be that much more. You'd have to really be careful how much material you put, but I mean, you have obviously the bolt,
I can't move those.
so
I can only move this. I gotta break this out.
can you saw it?
Can
Just
this
make it-
can this come back? a
No.
1/4 inch? You can't. You're all the way up against the bell crank that you meant.
Too close.
I'd just say saw it down the middle, crack it, and then put a brand new one in there.
Yeah. It's my favorite tool.
Oh,
This-
it's slick. I mean, yeah, when you used a old Zona saw versus that.
Yeah. They don't last very long either, because for some reason they didn't use metal worth of crap on Zona saws.
No. Well, I think they're made, yeah, they're made for softwood. You get into maple and,
6-ply plywood,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Okay, so we got that out of there. You know, I could,
you really don't need that firewall. All you gotta do, put that on there, just take some glass cloth and that 250 resin, make a nice fillet in there. It'll lock that into this, and you don't even need that piece of plywood up there. Save you some weight. That's what I think.
Well,
Because once you get that fuse locked into all this, I mean,
you still end up with a gap above it, below it, the tank compartment. I think that was the reasoning behind that, was to seal that off so you don't have that.
yeah,
I'd probably use balsa wood.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then glass it,
This was plywood.
yeah.
Well, I always glass inside.
Glass and that, super fill,
Yeah.
like a small little fillet and glass it. Look at that, it's a straight edge and a saw.
Exactly right.
I was at this metal place and they had some cut-offs that were really thin, about the thickness of that ruler. And they were just strips, you know, 2-3 foot long. I said, how much are these? He said, oh, you can have them. I thought, well, you know, I checked them and they were perfectly straight on a shear, you know, clean the burr off. I thought, okay, using the straight edges. And they're thin. 6 hold a straight edge, but it was probably a 16th or more. You know, remember those at home?
Yeah, basically the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. This was even thinner than that.
These were machinist rules that had errors on them.
Yeah, I've got
And I
one.
got them for like $5 a piece. But you see like this, they ground that off of there.
Yeah,
But they had something on them, and I never could find what it was. You know, or maybe something like that, where there's not any ink
yeah.
in the scribe marks. I mean, that thing goes down to 1/64 of an inch. How often do you need a 1/64 of an inch?
Well,
When you're measuring 64s.
yeah, but
Yeah.
when it gets down to there, it's almost like a dial caliper, you know? I can't really
It's a guesstimate, you know.
see. Here's the thing, put these things together and see how straight they are. I was in the hardware store and I was looking at straight edges, or not straight edges, they call them rulers like that. I think there's, you can see like 20 thousandths of daylight in between them, or more.
Yeah, they went through their shop, you know, they
Yeah.
bought whole cases of those things.
I'm gonna need something to grind this out here. Like this here and grind these back. So we got
Wow.
sanding drum for this, baby.
Hey Spark, I'm gonna set your bag up somewhere
Okay.
so I don't step on it. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna set it over here.
That's a cut saw? They make cut saws like this?
No, it's not a cut saw, that's one of those things like that big round wheel thing.
Yeah, it's a cut saw.
We got. Look at this.
I don't have one of these. Well, shit. Cool.
But if it's got a bunch of glue in it, it'll load that thing up.
Yeah.
Load it up, use here's a bird,
How come we got no power here?
because you're in one that isn't turned on.
That's a zip cut. That'll work too.
So I don't like using those carbide jobbers because they load up with glue unless it's in clean wood.
I can't move those blocks because the cow's already made.
You ever slip and get that balled up in your shirt?
Yeah, yeah.
He did it on video one day.
That was interesting.
You didn't tighten it back, did
Yeah, I tightened it, but I guess not tight enough.
you? Here's the actual wrench for it.
I had a good one today. I was grinding that thing off, and it was red hot. I grabbed it with my fingers. Look,
It was still red hot, wasn't it?
Oh, you could smell it.
smoke.
Like, boy, that's a nasty smell.
Yeah.
I need to break out the crock pot.
With a wire wheel. I think I feel better with an 1/8" piece of balsa wood in there than nothing. You breaking my stuff?
I just poked the hole on it.
Where?
You got another one to fix.
Where? Leave it alone, though. I'm gonna poke the holes, more holes in it.
Well, we got all this shit poking around up here.
These are the ones that you gotta watch out for.
Yep.
That's a pea size.
Well, that right there got it.
Bottom inboard side.
That ain't nothing.
Nothing better than the smell of burning maple. It's almost as good as taking shit on a grill.
Those are much better.
Give me a piece of that good contest 10-pound balsa, would you? 1/8 inch. I'm
Go
gonna
up
make
there
a
and get him.
firewall.
Go on, get him some of those top blocks I got in the back of my truck.
Yeah, oh yeah, we could use it, that'd work great.
Let's see if it's gonna work now.
You don't need anything like heavy in there. Don't need 1/8 inch, really.
You gotta cut it some more.
Pretty good wing there, Spark.
What's that?
This winging John's is pretty good.
Yep.
You know, somebody come down here, see this operation, they think you did it for a living.
Yeah.
So, you gonna try to get this thing assembled today?
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
go together, and as soon as I get this to fit, it'll take about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Line it up on these crosshairs.
Yep. What is holding it? I gotta cut it forward a little bit more. This here. It don't take much.
Plywood, you hit the balsa wood?
When I was a 15-year-old kid, I worked in a hobby shop, and the owner of the shop says, "You need one of these Dremel tools." I said, "What's that do?" He said, "Well, carve and sand, do all kinds of stuff." So I bought one, put a good sharp bit in it. Here, pull it back and push it. I think this goes in when you push it in.
Do what now?
Pull it back out. Now push it in. Okay.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
You know, I actually don't need that firewall like you said.
That's- yeah.
It's a good
Yeah, just,
fit in there.
yeah. So all you do is maybe get the gaps with a little,
Super cool.
yeah, and then put the glass.
I got glass in it.
Oh, yeah,
No, no.
yeah.
Oh, no.
I put little strips of glass about a 1/2 inch wide in the corners
Yeah.
of the motor mount.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps the sides, in case your tank's a little wide, it keeps the sides from popping off the motor mounts.
So anyway, I got this Dremel tool, got a big old block of wood, gonna make a cow. 15 minutes later, I had a pile of balsa dust at my feet. No cow. So just
Well, I gotta say, at least it ain't on top.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I did mine too. It's
Yeah.
on here, see
Yeah.
right there.
that's just part of it.
That lightweight silk span, you look at the stuff cross-eyed and they're done.
yeah. Gotta cut a little bigger on the.
I think you might have to notch for that wire there a little bit too, a little half round beam in there.
Yeah, it's cutting, fitting. Actually, I could need a sanding stick to sand these here.
I mean, right there in the left, there's a pile of stuff, and one of them's got a piece of stick in there with glue or stuff on it.
There we go.
Okay. So that might be sharper.
No, that's good.
So you like that, and then end up on the floor.
You know, I may not need that firewall in there, but I'm gonna put one in there.
Now see, Dan, I did these.
Yeah.
I can get this set down here, and you can take these and shove them in and out, and get one in
Yeah.
there.
Get it lined up. Yeah, it's pretty slick.
I got that side. What about this side here?
Yeah, get it good and straight. And then put the firewall on it after you get it all together.
Well,
Still, I think it still needs to go back some more. You can't see what's hitting on. I push up on this a little bit. You got a hold of it? I'm pushing forward on it. How far are you?
1/4 inch,
Quarter
3/16.
inch Still.
But this is, on this side, it's right up against where it's supposed to be, and on this side, it's probably 1/8 of an inch. So I need to sand that right there. Balsa is pretty forgiving, but maple don't move.
No.
What I need is I'm gonna need some lines here because I can't see down through this one.
Well, you have to to take it out of there and mark you some lines and square them off.
Yeah.
That's where the center ruler comes in.
Yeah.
This right here. There's that left-handed ruler you had.
Right there.
So in other words, so if you take little pieces of tape or line, you come out from the center, 1.5 on each side, and the line will be on the outside of the fuselage, but you still be able to line it out.
It's more than 1.5.
2.5.
It's
1
1,
5/8.
so you're at 3/16.
And what I'm
An
telling
inch
you,
and 3/16.
You got to measure the width and then divide by 2 and then put that on the center line and measure out.
Yeah, it should be on the same number on either side of 6.
yeah. But this will,
But that ruler is so shiny in the light you can't
Yeah, it's
read
about an inch and 3/8 because you're 5/8. You're not quite 5/8.
it. This fuselage
Is
is
2.
1 and no, it's 2.
2 1/4, something like that.
No, 2 and 13/16. So there's 7/8. There's 15/16. 13/16. 11/16. I don't know. It's a little.
Here, watch this. We'll have 3 measurements here, and every one of them will be wrong.
Yeah.
Just center that.
16
ruler.
less than 3/4. It's 11/16. It's 2 and 11/16. So half of 2 and 11/16 is right at a little shade.
Half of 2 and 11/16. You said.
Yeah.
We got the Dan Winship app on here.
It's about
I'll tell you exactly what it is. 2 and 11/16. Divide by 2. 1 and 11/32.
Yep.
Yep. You did that all in your head, huh? Yeah.
it's easy to do. But except you won't get a mark on there, that's fine.
Yeah, just something so we can get the fuselage going straight. But for some reason, this thing don't want to fit down in there yet quite right.
As long as it's a little outside of the fuselage where you can see it. you
Yeah,
still want
just
to-
eyeballing it up.
Not only that, all 3 of us are wearing these glasses, you know, that's that's part of it too.
You bet you did.
I got to work one day and I put my readers on. I thought, man, my eyes are something bad overnight. I can't believe I can't even read with these readers now. And I found out it was my wife's prescription. She had a pair of glasses that were almost like this.
I can tell you where my eyes went bad. I was working for Whitman Harley Davidson, and it was like working in a cave.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was dark, super dark, and I had to read all these schematics for motorcycles, and I'm looking and go, what the hell is it?
Yeah. What was it? A factory? Is it a manufacturing facility?
No, dealership.
Oh. Next time the way went out, run a line down here for the fuse straight.
Ah, the hell
Put the
happened?
wings this way.
I broke it.
Why?
Well, you can get the whole fuse. That way you can get the line.
It's on there.
I know, but you can get the line all the way up to the nose of it.
Let's see here.
Well, I could have extended that and run
Right, right down the
But
side.
it stays the same no matter
Yeah.
what, cause I put it in
Yeah.
the center of the piece of glass. You know,
Yeah.
it has 70 inches long and 48 inches wide, so. I didn't like having the wingtips hanging out past the edge of the table.
Yeah.
So
Hey, yeah.
when I had this piece of glass made, I wanted to fit a full-size airplane on it. Built, you know, spinner and everything, so
Yeah.
they're normally more than 48, but,
Yeah.
or at least 48 anyway. So, that's what I did with it.
I gotta make sure this cowl still fits.
Let me see that for a second.
Hold on.
See if that former threw you off. But definitely, when you get that thing mounted on your wing, and
Yeah, I'm gonna screw this on while the epoxy's drying.
yeah. I was looking at these little routers like this, John, battery operated, 200 to 240.
Really?
Yeah. Same compact router, but it's got either DeWalt or Milwaukee. I think it's 239 or something for the DeWalt, and then the Milwaukee without a battery is 200. But
I'm not hip on batteries. Every time I go to use it, the battery's not charged,
yeah,
you know, and that's.
you don't need a battery if you're down here. It's just the job site.
Right, oh yeah, well, it's so much easier than having to drag around 100-foot extension
Yeah.
cords, which I did for years.
Okay,
and
that's
years.
close enough. I mean, you see this gap here?
Yeah,
What am I gonna do?
that's where the fillet goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no big deal.
I know. Would be nice if it was perfect fit, but it's not.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's a perfect fit. What matters is it's perfectly straight.
Yeah.
Once you get it straight, then you can pack that lead epoxy in there. Put that Bondo in there.
Oh, yeah, Bondo. That's the good stuff. If you get that green Bondo, that's better than the red Bondo.
Do these headers normally get this?
They do when you have an exhaust leak where it bolts to the engine.
Oh, really? So
Or the carb, you're running it rich and it's throwing crap out the intake.
yeah. And it's just cooking on there.
Yep. That's been in the airplane a long time.
Yeah. Reminds me of my
These
old-
things the intakes are so short on these things, you can sit there and watch them while they're running, spit fuel out of them.
Mhm.
So you put a piece of pantyhose over there,
Yeah.
it doesn't stop it completely, but it cuts it way back and it doesn't affect the fuel draw.
Mm-hmm.
It's only when you go dripping primer in it to start it, you know, you're dripping your fuel in, it
Mhm.
doesn't look like it's going down in
But
there,
it
but it's going down in there. It might take one extra drip of fuel opposed to not having it on there at all, but
Yeah. That reminds me of my Fox 35s.
oh yeah, they wouldn't run good unless they were black.
Well, if I was a
I'll
kid,
cut it up on the outside of them.
yeah. Craig Beeswick,
Yeah,
have you weighed your fuselage?
yeah.
Weighs about that much. Sort of hard to weigh right now.
8.5 ounces, what it
What are
was.
there, 4
8.5 minus the firewall.
Yeah. And that was a good piece of rockwood there.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty far,
I notice you got your lead outs off center.
Yep. They're dropped down. make up for the pipe, you know, hanging underneath.
Yeah.
This one's gotta go back. Oh yeah. Okay.
It don't matter, half a quarter of an inch out of there, you'll fill it full of something.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's a little tight, a little tight, a little tight. Now I got a gap, you know.
Yep, it works like that every single time. You actually did a pretty good job on this one on the inside, Sparky.
I don't think it's thin enough.
Yeah, it's still a little heavy, but you start whittling these things down too thin, then they start getting real fragile.
Yeah.
That's why I waited to glass it until I can finish.
Your horn's not out.
What's going on here? That's it right there.
Everything touching. Trying to hold this fuselage center on the line.
Yeah. That is it right there. So we'll push it back. Can't see what the top side looks like, but it must be right because it's.
Do you have any glue globs on the top of the sides? I mean, that could be throwing it off. You got that?
Pull it out.
I know some of it came off on the top block, but is there anything on that would throw it off?
Right here.
That's the problem about tacking the top and bottom block on them things, because you want to sort of leave them on there because they help sort of key you
Yeah.
when you're getting lined back up, but
If you gotta go off the glass and it's gotta lay flat, then, you know, it's gotta come off. I keep looking at this thing. I gotta look at it a little bit closer to figure this thing out. Let's see here. Don't
Line
tell,
wrapping jig.
don't tell, huh? What is it?
I can't tell you.
I'll look at it for a minute. Yeah, I gave up. What is it, John? What is it?
it's the line wrapping.
Oh, okay.
Put your eyelet through one of the little bolts right here. You got two different size eyelets you
Okay.
can use, so you can turn it around either way.
Okay.
You run your line through here and around the eyelet and back through here, and you tighten that down, it holds tension on your lines right here, and then you wrap.
Oh,
And for the guys who don't have a clothespin,
And
yeah.
then this you can use to screw this front to back to get more tension
Oh,
here
yeah.
if you need it.
That's
have
like,
you seen the Jim Lee line wrapping kit?
is this like this?
No, show them the kit, John.
So is this your design, John? Or?
No, that's I can't remember who did that one.
Tom Morris.
Tom Morris. Somebody down south.
I don't see it in
Carolina
here.
guys, or one of them, they might be out in the shed.
It wasn't here. Here's a little one. Here, this is the, this is the line wrapping kit right here.
That's pretty cute, isn't it?
You don't,
Huh?
you think I'm bullshitting, huh?
No, I know. It's this is as you put that on there and then you wrap it like this,
You
right?
hold it and go like
Yeah.
that, and it goes, what?
And it winds itself off the spool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is,
The real ones, you use the full-size clothespin.
yeah.
And then that's the half size, and I've got one.
It's even smaller than
It's
that.
even smaller than that. It's a quarter of that size.
Mhm.
I just did for a joke to.
What happened was 25 years ago,
Mhm.
we were at SIG, and Jim
Yeah.
Lee was there with all his crap.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, how come you don't make those line wrapping jigs anymore? He said, nobody wants them.
Yeah.
I said, well, I want one. He said, well, how much would you pay for it? I said, I'll give you $25 for it.
Yeah.
So he started making them.
Well,
John Paris says Gary Phelps was the first on the jig.
okay.
On what? That?
This line wrapping jig.
I could figure this out. It already had the copper wire in it. This thing, it looked like a torture chamber for a mouse, a torture device for a mouse.
I was getting Carolina gang, or one of them. They gave these things away as trophies
Oh, that's cool.
for the
Yeah.
guys. They finished them all up, and
So they gave you something you could use.
yeah, rather than a wall hanger.
So what we need to do here is I'll tack this together with some CA. And then we'll turn it over and look at the top.
And then set it back down.
Yeah.
Make sure it's all right.
Cause I can't. Oh, I can't see the top. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not saying.
See, the problem I had was the fuselage, just getting the fuselage just lined up.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know, just get it as close as you can. You know, on your transmitter, you got these little things you just click.
Click, 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 click.
You can get it dialed in later. I fly this little stick RC for the fun of it, and I had it sitting up on top of some stuff in the garage, and I walked by and looked at it. It was so crooked and warped. I thought, oh my gosh, it flies so good though. You know, get the trim tabs going.
Yeah, and you got the little hollow wings and stuff. I got one of them.
All right, John, let me show you something
There
here.
you go. A stick.
Yeah, it's exactly like that, except it has a hopped up motor on it. All this is the same, and it's a symmetrical airfoil. Yep.
That'd be better than what comes with these. They come with that little hollow.
Yeah.
Actually, this fits pretty much perfect.
See what they're doing, they're
Okay.
taking this thing, taking the gear off, they're flipping it over, and they're mounting the motor here, facing this way, and there's no gear drive, it's all outrunner. So when the outrunners and the lipos came on, they just hopped this thing up. What are you gonna do with that? You ever fly it?
No, you want it?
I'll take it home and hop it up.
Take it home, hop it up.
Here, one more piece for your garage.
It's the exact same thing as what I'm flying now. Yeah, but see, the wing is flat,
Yeah, it's undercambered.
so you just put a fully symmetrical airflow on it. You know?
Well, if you take it, you gotta take all of it. You can't leave the wing here.
You don't want anything laying around.
I don't want any remnants laying around. Actually, you know, I bought this for my dad,
Yeah,
and
Good.
figuring I was going to try to get him back into
yeah.
modeling,
Well, it's a good trainer.
and he never flew the damn thing.
Yeah,
He wouldn't go out.
yeah.
Top of the morning, free
And
flight.
I'm like, well, why won't you go out, Dad? Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't get him interested in it. He was more into golf and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people learn on this.
Okay, so we need some 15-minute or 30-minute epoxy.
15 or 30?
Yeah. Something that I can slop on there and I can move around.
see, I got a DX6 right there.
Yeah.
Brand new.
One of those two. 2.4, yeah.
Helicopters. You got any of these?
No, I don't, but I had a citizenship as a red anodized box. I wish I would've kept it.
Single channel,
Yeah.
escapement
Yeah,
type, winder that would be in that.
that looks like anime museum stuff
Yeah, it's old. I
Yeah.
have a couple of them.
there. Yeah. You ever come over to my garage? It's a lot like this, but it's more compact and it's already.
Yeah. You gotta go through his garage like this.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
He's got 60 years of shit in there.
That's the problem with any place. I mean, even if you had a shed out back that was 40 by 60,
Mhm.
give yourself 10 years, you don't have a pack
Oh,
full
yeah.
of shit.
Yeah.
Where's the ball driver?
Right here.
Did you get your epoxy?
No.
See the horn goes in there. This is what sets the horn. Right here, the angle.
Okay.
So then you can adjust it if you want it, lean it forward or back or whatever, 90 degrees, you set it. And then you just, oh, it really goes this way. And then you just tighten these things up. You know, so it holds it. The neat thing about it is you can braze it like this,
Mhm.
you know. You can braze it like this, you know, or you can braze it like this. It just doesn't matter. And the only reason I use this configuration is because it was an actual scrap piece when a machine shop used to make these things for a forklift, and they were throwing them away because they were drilled wrong. And so heck, I could always use them for something, you know. But this is what sets the angle. Gotta be careful, it's heavy as hell.
This is 1/8" wire, so
Yeah.
you got that just set up for 1/8", and,
Yeah.
but you could use different kind of wire. Just
Well, if
one
you're
little piece
bushing
of
it.
wire at an angle.
That's for 3/32 right there. You put the 1/8"
Yeah.
hole in there, and then you're gonna put the tube in there anyway.
Yeah.
This stuff here, this is 45%. But then we had this stuff here we were using on the bearings.
Mm-hmm.
Same stuff.
A little softer there.
Well, I think it's the same alloy, 45 or 50.
A little thinner is all.
Yeah, so then when you do the bearings up there with the brass bushings or whatever you want to call them, you know, then it's just terrible.
Like a solder almost. This stuff, you buy that by the pound now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did back then, but
Yeah, they sold it, well, they sold it by weight. I don't know, you know, you could buy 8 ounces or whatever it came in a little circular plastic thing, but they sold it by weight.
Where's your little measuring gauge?
in that cabinet up there in a wooden box on the right hand side. That brown wooden box.
I think it's pretty straight. It looks pretty straight.
Well, we don't have guides for the fuselage or anything if we were trying to do that. Here's what I ended up getting in.
Yeah, silver at 45% silver. This has got cadmium.
Yeah. which is sort of poisonous if you're doing a lot of soldering and stuff, or brazing, I should say.
How did you measure that was up this high?
Yeah, I'd get the stuff.
Here, loosen, leave that on there, and loosen that up. Then if you press this, this will go down fast, and then you can use this to screw it up and down real fine.
Right.
Once you get it set, just run the little set screw in it, and then. But that's what I've been using for these things. I think I got one that's made here. I got one end done on that. There's another one that I did with that still. Another one. This sort of turns gold.
Yeah, it almost looks like gold.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I fixed a wedding ring. I had it cracked on me. I fixed it with it. Once you buff it, you couldn't tell the difference.
Must be the cadmium in there.
Yeah. Well, I've got it without cadmium. It still has the same color.
See, it's these little slider pieces that I had a problem with.
So
So,
we need to get those laser cut.
Where are them wedges? Also,
Over
over
here.
here on the table.
We need, now see,
So I made these, made this little piece,
yeah, that's time consuming.
and I thought that that was gonna be the thing, and I ended up with these little boogers,
Yeah,
so it can't spin in there.
right.
But I found out you really don't need that, just a flat piece
With a bushing in it, that's all you need.
with the bushing in it is all you need, because the screw and the bushing lines it up and keeps it aligned, so you really don't need that
Well,
T-shaped piece.
so see this little piece right here, this little tab?
Yeah.
Imagine that being brazed onto this wire. And then the horn, okay, imagine this little tab being brazed here. And then this being brazed over here with a tube in it. So they go together. And this horn would have an ellipse in it. So this little tab, it would be the exact same thing. It'd be brazed here. And that's how, it really wouldn't be that much heavier if it's done right. That would be your adjustment on your flat, independent, because this would be split.
Right.
This would rotate in the socket. And then, of course, obviously, it's not coming apart because the screws hold it. So, do you have any of these little bushings made up this size? I mean, the two, K&S two, not,
I can make them, I think, I want to. That's just a standard package that came with a control horn, and I used it on my make one.
cut me two of these with 3/32 IG.
Okay.
I'll make you one. I'll do a little demo on it. And I'll give you the horn.
Okay. They're not good. I have to try them off. They put you too long on the specifics of the weight. Is it 8? That work?
Yeah. We'll cut this one
Yeah, that's really what you need. That's just what came in the stock package.
about as close as it's gonna get right here.
Here's a Here's a piece we can cut.
Yeah.
Whatever on
Okay, I've been shimming and jiggling and just check this out and make sure what you think. I mean, I got no marks on it, so it's all by eye. Don't worry about that part, just the wing.
Okay, the only thing you can do is got a center line, you go around all four corners with that,
Right.
and that makes the wing
That's what I want
level
you to
this
check.
way and level this way.
I don't have a mark on it, so it's all by eye. Try not to bump it because it's...
I normally take another piece and put it up against this, some of these angles, couple angles, just so it can't move around as easily. Like this is fine, right angle. You do glue one right here and one on the other tip over here, and that'll keep that line good.
I got CA here, stuff that'll come out of the bottle good. What's Dan doing?
Control horn.
You don't have enough?
No, John needs another one.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
It's up against here, tack that down. Not gonna be perfect, but it's close. I got no lines on it.
If you line this up with the center line of that wire,
We're good there.
that looks pretty good on the center line of that wire.
Yep.
Okay, then everything's, that's gotta be in the center of the wing, so.
Yeah, it's a little low. It could go up there, but I already glued it.
Could go up.
Yeah. Right there.
Give me another wedge. That'll work. Okay. Now you gotta watch, cause it'll lift,
Yeah, it's lifting it now.
you know, the center of your wing up off the ground.
Yeah, I glued it. It's right in the center of the hinge line, so that's good. Look at the leading edge.
Got some Spitzer stuff on there somewhere.
It'll be fine.
You got any 3/32 wire laying around here, John?
Look right back in there.
That's pretty close.
Piece in there. Yeah, that looks good. didn't he? It's right on the mark on the fuselage.
So,
Did you find the piece in there?
Yeah, but it's not music wire.
Oh, it's thread is right.
No, it's just
Oh,
tempered.
it's just a needle.
it's that good RC push rod stuff.
Yeah, I got a piece here.
What are you making?
Just a little slider one. It's like John's jig.
Give a piece of that 12 gauge I gave you, John. Okay, so we're in good shape here as far as the wing goes. I can pull this off, glue it up.
Yeah, the wing's level, front to back and left to right. So, and it should be sitting right according to the fuselage. So it didn't move when you pulled that out, so that's a good deal.
You see stuff like this. I've made stuff like this. 5 years, 10 years later, I thought, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
I've got jigs that I made, I can't figure them out.
Exactly where you're coming from.
Bob Eastby's pipe.
Yeah, crack pipe. Okay, so now we need some glue.
There you go, Dan.
I'm getting into your 36-inch stock, aren't I?
That ain't it. Maybe not, I gotta find the piece.
I was gonna bring some, but I thought, John will have some. What do you think? About ready to glue, you think?
Yeah, I need glue. I don't know where you got it. I guess
Right behind Dan there on the shelf.
up there on that shelf. What is that? 5 minutes.
5.
I could do it with 5,
How
but
about 30?
yeah, 30 is good.
30 minutes tops.
30 is probably what you really need.
It should be two matching bonded.
30.
I could do it with 5, but
No. No,
Just you might be asking for problems.
it goes too quick. 5 is really 4. As far as moving it around, or 3. I don't think you have any 3/32, John. What's this down here? Right here.
that's it.
Yep. Good catch, John.
I got it. I forgot to take this thing.
Oh, listen, 3/32 is smaller.
Smaller. What I thought.
It is.
Yeah. That's all right, John. I don't wanna eat up your time.
No, I'm not doing anything.
You got a piece of drill rod? be able to pick it out by eye. There ain't none on this end.
No,
Here, don't get this mixed up with that wire.
that's 3/32.
That's a drill rod.
Okay. Used to be,
That's better anyway.
I'd handle enough wire that I could tell the difference between drill rod and music wire if you look at it close.
Yeah, I know. Well, now all this stupid stuff is metric.
And it's black metal.
Yeah, has no finish to it.
You remember when the wire used to come, it was shiny?
Oh, yeah.
The music wire?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was probably when it was made in Chicago instead of
China. You guys are having a hell of a time.
yeah, we are.
See, those are same size.
Nope. Here's a push rod for you.
Now it's gonna come out the other end.
Make some horns out of these babies. Oh, oh! Gotta get some tape on it or something.
Yeah, gotta get that cap taped on. It was staples at one time, but the staple's gone. There's that.
I think I'll make that firewall first. Yep, make the firewall first.
This is what you want.
Yeah. You want to use this for this? It's the last piece of 3/32 you got.
No, I got another.
You get another piece. So what do you want this horn to be usable as far as span?
You mean between the bends?
Yeah. What you thinking? 2 inches?
I don't have, let's see here. See, these are set up. Now I've got a regular. These are set up. They're already got holes in them,
Yeah.
you know, so
1/8 inch.
you have to go like that. And go like that.
Okay. So how much jive can you sand here? I mean, how much?
Everything's already pre-done, so
Yeah. Oh, you got it.
you see, you got number 2, this is this side right here.
So how do you actually make sure this horn fits there? Do you have a horn for that?
I don't know if I made one for that one or not already.
I always do the horn on the elevators first. And then I do the hinges, and then I do the tips and make it all match. So
I had
I-
a little plastic bag or something there at one time.
The chances of getting this thing perfect are slim to none.
Yeah, but it's only wood.
Well, it's only wood, but you gotta stick a piece of metal in it, and that's where the problem starts. Because once you get those hinges in there,
control horn in it. And I may have taken the control horn out. So let's see.
You got Facebook?
That's 8 pins. This, I think this horn.
No, I don't do that. So that was, you mean you had a horn already made up for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
That horn.
Well, heck, if you got this one, you don't need another one.
I think that's the horn I made for that.
We'll just do this as demo purposes. So this horn, outside to outside is 2 inches. Minus a 16th or so.
This is another
15.
one that might be the same.
Yeah, just a little less than 2.
I think it was this one because this got a bigger notch in it
Mm-hmm.
to allow for thicker wood.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make that much difference as long as it's the right size wire.
We'll just make it 2.
This is typically what they come out at,
Right.
you know, and I always.
Mm-hmm.
I can take this. See, all these hinges are lined up.
Yeah.
Those are all lined up. Those are all
Yeah.
lined up.
Yeah, that's probably the horn for it.
So I don't cut these slots until I put these hinges in here.
Okay.
That gives me an accurate square line where to cut these slots at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't do it the opposite way.
Right.
Cut these slots and then try to put the hole in that. I put
No.
the fixed hole
Yeah.
in first,
Right.
and then
That way you can,
yeah, I can
Sure.
move them wherever I need to go. Then and
Makes
get them
sense.
lined up. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
that horn is for that.
I'll just make this thing 2, you know.
But it's pretty universal. If you got the horn already made and
Yeah.
it's already done,
Yeah.
then it doesn't make any difference. You know, you can drill the holes wherever.
Right.
Still fitting?
Oh, yeah. Fine.
Sounds like an angry cat. doesn't it?
They're a little tight.
That's all right.
Yeah,
That's where you want it.
Now, depending on what kind of hinges you use, I just leave them things.
There's your drill rod. I put a piece of tape on it.
I keep it over here. I keep it
Okay. See, I've always done the horns bent before you braze.
Yeah, see, I do them the opposite. I put the horn on it and braise it and then bend them. And that way I can bend them whatever I want to. Cut a 6-inch piece of wire.
But you can't get them as accurate. I'll show you this way. And you might find, I mean, it's okay that way, what you're talking about. But there might be a case where you need to do this, and I'm gonna show you how. And the other thing is, I was telling Sparky you could sell this in a kit. And then let them braise it and then bend it, bend it and then braise it. The reason why people had to bend them after they were braised is because they couldn't braise them. So let's just say.
That and they lay flatter in packaging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're shipping something that's not sticking out 2 directions.
We'll just make this a narrow one. Since you got, we'll make it 1.5 inches or so. Like I said, this is a demo horn. I'll show you anyway. This will be one you don't have. So the other beauty of it is, before you braise it, I mean, it's like
You get them
it's
flat.
yeah.
That's why I made that jig to bend them.
Right. So.
Couldn't ask for better than that.
You got 30-minute epoxy on there?
Yeah, I haven't got any on it yet.
You haven't put it on there yet?
No,
I don't know if I wouldn't just glue that on there first and let it dry
that's what I'm gonna do.
and then come back and do this one.
I think we can get away with 5-minute epoxy though.
Well, if you got it exactly where it'll go together right, and all
See,
that stuff, and
Cause it's, it's up tight there. Yeah. Let's go around and check it one more time, make sure.
yeah, you can sort of touch on it, and if it's not bouncing off these squares back here, they're still good. They're all glued in place anyway. The only thing that can change is the wing can be pushed left or right. But as long as it's up against this, you're gonna notice it on your center line.
Well, it,
It isn't moved anyway, because I'm sitting here looking at a center line on the wing and the line on the table, and it's right there.
this is not quite in the center there, but
No, it's gotta go that way just ever so slightly. Pretty close. It's within a 64th of an inch. I don't think a 64th of an inch is gonna kill you.
no, I've seen shit 1/2 inch out.
And fly fine. Dan's proven fact.
That's right. It don't matter.
His little RC airplane he was talking about. All twisted up and everything, throw it up in the air, and you got enough of them little buttons on that radio to make it fly straight.
Yeah. It just flitters around up there anyway.
Okay, I wanna check this, make sure this screws on still.
I'd probably just leave that on there. Your lines are on the outside of your fuselage that you're looking at.
Yeah. Okay, let's do 5-minute epoxy Indian acid brush. We'll do 5 minutes instead of 30 minutes because we'll be here all day waiting on this shit.
Are you done using this?
Yep, I cut a piece
That's
off.
a man with confidence there. He's going for the 5-minute.
Yeah,
He's confident.
You ever see me glue canopies on a 5-minute epoxy?
No, but once you get it to fit, it goes pretty quick. I mean,
Yeah, you better be sure of the fit.
yeah.
I can run out of time with 30-minute epoxy. I wish I had an hour long epoxy.
That's 30. This is 30. This is 5.
There's 2 things of 5 in there. Should be almost full.
Okay, we definitely gonna need an acid brush though.
Where's the super glue at?
Mine is right here, yours is right here. I still gotta get out there with Dan and fix this little hole you punched in it. That ain't nothing though. I got a bunch of them on this wing.
That was John's doing.
Yeah.
Was it John?
Yep, that was all my fault. I'm guilty as charged. I'll fix it.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll just split it since I was standing so close to you. I was playing with the lead house. We'll just take it 50-50, so that makes it 2-1.
I'll do it myself.
That way you can't get mad at both of us.
I'm not mad.
I know you're not mad.
Jerry, I was kind of upset.
Kinda.
When-
You didn't get over that for 2 years.
He's still talking about it.
Jerry's holding my airplane. I'm getting ready for an official flight. And he takes his thumb and pokes it right through the sheeting.
Hey,
Oh, big hole, man. That hole was about 2.5
2
inches
inches, yeah.
in diameter.
so did you fly or did you
No.
take an attempt?
No, I didn't do shit. I put my airplane back in the car and
Yeah.
waited to get here and fix it.
Can't really fly because otherwise you'll end up getting bigger, right?
Well, they were all coming up to him telling him, well, we can put some fiberglass patch on that, or we could take some packing tape and put
Yeah.
packing tape on that,
Yeah.
and you can go ahead and fly. And he's like, nah, I don't think so.
Well,
So I go peeling that packing tape off, then I rip half the covering off the wing.
yeah, it makes it worse.
And fiberglass is worse, so let's just stop and go home.
If I'd have been at the Worlds or something, you know, where it didn't matter. I just wanted, you know.
Well, they did that to me at the Nats one year. I was flying intermediate, and I crashed on my first flight. Of course, I got a DNF, and I was packing up going home. 3 or 4 guys come walking up to me and says, "Oh, don't pack up yet. Let me see your airplane." They grabbed that airplane and took off. Said, "We'll be back in a little bit." And they come back about a half an hour later, and that airplane was all back in one piece. They said, "Go fly
Yeah.
your second flight."
Yeah.
And it was a good job. I mean, it was
Yeah.
straight and everything. And I went up, flew my second flight.
Did just fine, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't win, but I
At
mean,
least
it
you're
flew
flying.
fine.
Yeah.
I flew.
Yeah.
The airplane flew good. I couldn't complain about that. It was straight and all that.
Yeah, but it wasn't a Nats quality.
Well, no, but I was an intermediate too, so I wasn't really worried too much about concourse or anything like that at that point in time. It was a time machine. It was a Dixon time machine. It was a monocoque wing. And so they patched the monocoque and stuff like that, cut out where they needed to.
Okay, John, let's say you're doing a flat one. You gotta have like a 25 or
7-degree forward angle on it or something.
you take a piece of C-temp and you cut C-temp out at the right angle or whatever.
Right.
So then you can actually come up here and you can check everything.
Yeah.
And really, when you start bending, you can't bend and get everything exactly right. So these two screws clamp, and these two here go in, and it's a spreader. So basically, when you open this up, you're pinching this even more. You can just do it by hand. So you can take this thing and you go through here, you know, and make sure everything's, you know, where you want it. The magnet, you know, this slides back and forth, and that'll hold it in place.
Well, that's no problem, because all you're doing is blowing heat on it.
Yeah.
You know, by the time.
So, you know, you can just fine tune it. So that's 90. And then, you know, now you're ready to braze it.
Now, are you just heating, when you were doing your horns for real, were you just heating them like that and braising them like that?
Yep. I'll show you.
I'll show you something that works. Got a plan ahead of time, but it works great.
You mean wrap the coil around it?
Yeah, if you look on this silver, I got two sizes of it here. And I just cut off one complete little coil. I
Set
cut
it
it
on
right there, and I straighten it out to where they're even, and I slide
Set
it
it.
down on there and put some flux on it and
Yeah.
solder it, and it's the perfect amount of
Right.
solder.
Right.
And same way for 1/8 inch, you want 1/8 inch, you just cut one little teeny round thing off at 1/8 inch. And
Yeah. Well, let me show you how I've done
now you were in more mass production,
it. Yeah.
mass production, so maybe, you know, that probably would be harder.
Yeah.
You know, since I'm onesie twosie and things.
So that's, that'd be, you know, somebody that doesn't wanna crank out a bunch, they just need one or two, and then they just foolproof way of doing it.
Now you found that propane works plenty good for it, not MAP gas. MAP gas gets a little higher. I found propane works just as good.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that much heat.
Another thing I've always done is clean this off. Matter of fact, the end of it's sort of globby.
There's $1. It probably is today.
Yeah.
The
Might
silver.
not be far off. Just clean it towards. You got some glue on her, Sparky?
Yep, it's dry.
Here's another thing I do, John.
Meet your approval?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty perfect, you mean?
Well, there's a sanding difference from one side to the other, you know what I mean? So, I mean, this whole side is perfect, straight up and down. This side looks like maybe you sanded a little bit more on this radius right here,
Yeah, because it's not.
because it sort of comes down and then you can see it sort of slope around it. So it's like one or two swipes of sandpaper.
But the other side,
But this side, you could do the same thing to it.
you know, when it gets glued on,
Yeah,
when
when
they
it's
even it
glued
up.
on, you could even everything up. So yeah, it's fine. Perfect.
All I looked at is when you put that, square up there, is it square
Yeah.
perfectly?
Yeah, it's square. What kind of flux are you using?
That's safety silk.
Yep, you can see it just sort of goes all of a sudden and sucks into it.
How many times you had that wick into the bearing?
Probably none. How many times have I forgot to put the bearings on? Oh, one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Except we don't use bearings anymore.
I just did this somebody can use it, but it's a demo. But yeah, the first blow, I didn't get it hot enough. It's fine, but basically, when I do them unbent, I'd have holes in the bench. I have a dozen or more, and I just go down with,
Yeah.
do them all. But yeah, that way you can get everything. First thing you do is get this perfect. And then you can offset this side to side if you have to and get that perfect. And then you can get the angle perfect. And if you know how to braze, there's no reason why you should braze first and bend last. You bend and get it all aligned, then you braze. So, like I was telling Sparky, you sell somebody a kit, and then you can sell jigs or whatever, and then that way,
I'm gonna sell my hinges as a kit.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to sit back and put all
I
the
ain't-
bushings and things.
No,
and
I ain't
stuff
doing
like that.
bushing.
No.
Let me tell you. I had the hinges cut. I found the brass eyelets.
Mm-hmm.
I peened them over. I did it all, and I put 15 hinges because that's what it takes. 15 hinges in a baggie, and I said $15.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, they were whining.
Fine, but that's cheap.
Super cheap,
Yeah.
considering what they cost me to have. I got to pay to get them cut out and find them.
Stunt guys are notoriously cheap. Notoriously cheap.
So, since this flux is water soluble, let it cool, and then the next step is to actual clean it with water. And then I'll put it on your buffing wheel over there. Now see the flux, I took the flux halfway down the horn. And what that does is it helps the heat sink. And it's easier to clean because then it doesn't get the blue. If you just put the flux there, then this gets blue and you've got to clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
If it's going in your airplane, it doesn't matter, but if it's, for somebody else. So I'll soak this in the sink.
Almost dry. If it's wrong now, it's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, right at the very, very bottom, you can just see it start to move away, and then on this side, it doesn't move away at the same spot. That's about straight up down.
You know why? Think about this. When it's up, right side up, and I sand like that, so I need to turn it around and sand.
Because you're right-handed.
Right. Or sand it with my left hand.
You never sand the same, even though you try, because your left hand is weaker, and you never put the same pressure on everything. Just make sure your tail's on that center line.
Yep.
There should be enough little blocks of wood to glue down to the table to line that tail up left and right.
Oh, I'm just gonna CA it on there.
Oh, well, that's fine then. It's really the only way that you can get these things lined up unless you put a little overlapping tab thing on
No,
them.
I don't want that. What we got going on here? a little out. But it'll be fine.
You know, when it comes down to it,
Yeah, that's all right. My line is out.
It's gotta come forward a little bit too, so you're not tight. You had a saw cut,
Huh?
you had a saw cut that came out of that.
Yeah. So,
What was that, Dan?
you know, the fuselage is important, but what's really important is the relationship to the wing and the stem.
Yeah.
And it's like that little stick airplane, that little carbon tube. I mean, that doesn't do anything but connect the wing and the stab. So the carbon tube could be crooked as long as that wing is in with the stab, you know? Now, I know.
I had a fuselage that looked like a doggone banana.
Yeah, well, if it's a banana going in the right way, it could probably help you.
It was a banana going in the correct way, and the stab was put in there square to the trailing edge of the wing.
Mhm.
Now, taken for granted, if you ran a center line down from the nose to the tail, the stab and elevators were off to one side a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
3/8 of a quarter inch.
Yeah.
But it didn't affect, because it was level with the wing and it was square with the wing.
That's all.
got a piece of that 30-second, just a little sliver of 30-second wood.
Balsa wood?
Yeah. But make up for the saw cut, because if I pull it over, it bends the fuselage.
Yeah, well. Wonder if I something down here.
Because that all gets super filled on there. This is basically all I need to do today is get this nose glued on.
You gonna do the tail end of it?
No, because I've got to super fill all this
Oh, okay.
inside. So I brought the stuff, but now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I can't do that yet. I take it home and I'll have it together tonight.
So you gotta glue the tail on, right? You gotta
We
get-
don't glue the tail in until the top and bottom block are on there. I mean, it's in there, but
Okay.
it's loose.
Yeah,
So then you can stand back and look at it, you know.
Just how thick is that curve on there?
30-second, 16th to a 32nd.
I mean, I can go all the way down to that thin.
One of these two. This is too thin. That's like paper.
Yep. That's 64.
Don't worry about the mark on this. Worry about the. That's just.
And the center of the trailing edge of the fuselage is right on the line.
Actually, that thin piece is probably better because this is too thick. Because if I put this in,
Yeah.
it's blowing it over.
Up on behind that light.
On the other side to straighten up the fuselage.
one, something's out here. Like this is wider than the top up here.
No, it's not.
Now, if you come up here further, straight up and down, because of that taper,
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, they give me that little piece of crap you had.
well, that ain't crap. That's a $12 piece of wood.
Yeah.
It is. Price a piece of 64th inch balsa wood. That could cost you as much as an 1/8 inch piece or more. Yeah, you see it is. And that's about 15 of those. Tried to pull it out.
Yeah. Yep. Hard to believe that's all it is. But rubber.
You imagine building a whole airplane out of that stuff?
We do it.
So what?
That's 64th inch balsa wood. Making 64th inch square sticks.
Indoor free flight.
Yeah.
I like where they put a couple drips of dope on the bath water and then fold it off with a cover.
Yeah, the microfilm.
Yeah.
Whoever thought about that was pretty damn ingenious, you
Yeah.
know?
That's what I'm gonna do to my next cutter. Instead of just one drip, I'm gonna put 5. That'll be
Just
my
use
cover.
dope as a covering?
Yeah,
On water.
yeah.
You float it on water, and that makes the film that they use on those indoor free flight jobbers.
You got some Jewelers Rouge?
Yeah, behind the buffer.
Well,
There's couple different grades, there should be.
that's almost
yeah.
right.
This red stuff is a trick.
This has got to come out just a little bit. How are we gonna get that?
Well,
See, it's,
you get you a pin,
yeah.
and you pin it out there, and you keep pinning it until you get it adjusted right. Use some of these little pins, because they don't leave a hole hardly much.
Gotta come out. I'd rather it be sticking out a little than sticking in.
Close that here, so your back this way from
Well, I got it marked.
You gotta put a piece of 64th up there
Yeah.
between the cow.
Yeah. That's why it's like that. It's not gonna be thick enough. There's.
Got a gap.
Yeah, I need gap filling.
I thought I might have.
Okay. Yogi says we do such great work. But it's not yogi, it's yogna. Like yogurt. I don't know. We got 14 watchers. What you got here? You got filling.
Extra thick. Test it before you get it setting up. On something.
You have a strong grip to push that bottle in. We'll let her do this inside. Go there. I still gotta sand all them stringers off too. Right, back sand all them stringers, get all that
Yeah.
extra weight off. Might have to make a couple of passes on that. That didn't sound good.
That's when you know you're done.
Yeah, got the catch bracket underneath
Yeah.
those. It either goes there or it goes flinging up over your head.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it could ricochet in there for 5 minutes.
I've got stuff I still can't find. They come off
Yeah.
the lathe or
Yeah.
off that thing. I don't know where they're at. But they bounce around. They didn't put a hole in the wing. So
Yeah. You're asking me what that was.
Stay still. Now what is this? Is this a paste?
Yeah. Pull it out.
Okay, yeah. It's more pasty than the stuff I got.
Yeah.
Mine's starting to dry up because it's water based. I keep adding water
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah, just put water on.
I didn't know if you should use denatured water or something like that, and then I just put regular tap water in
Yeah.
it. Yeah, see, good for same thing, good for stainless steel, nickel, copper, bronze, brass, and none of the ferrous and non-ferrous metals.
So this would be.
Okay, this thing's ready to come out of the jig.
35 size stunner.
Glue the top.
You know, actually, that can actually work in one of these if the elevator's back far enough.
Yeah.
What? Could work in one of what?
fuselage on one of these if, I mean, you only have to use, look at that, you can still use that all the way up to there.
Yeah. Most of them I made back there were 1 3/4.
Or you want them small.
Well,
You
got-
don't want them 3 inches wide like you used to buy them in the store, you know, and have
Yeah.
that 90-degree bend an inch, 2 inches out on the end of it. And
Well, back in the old day, you stuck them in the wood. Now we stick them in clips, so you want them right at the edge.
yeah,
So
This turned out better than I thought.
see, that'll work on this one right here.
well, that side's fused. Yeah.
Very pretty, very nicely done. I normally, a lot of times, is I'll put a piece of tubing in these where that goes in, and I think I may have done it on that, a piece of aluminum tubing, and I'll super glue
Hey.
that whole.
Pick it out of the jig back there.
And then drill it again.
Yeah.
Do that a couple times, and I stick that piece of aluminum tubing down in there, and one little drop of super glue, and just throw it down in there, and it's locked in there forever.
Yeah.
But that hardens that wood up,
Yeah.
so that the tubing, because the tubing would act just like the wire does, and it would dent the wood in the inside there if you didn't harden the wood, you know, so, and you wanted to try to tweak them or something.
Yeah.
But now we're using. What are you all done?
Well, I'm done with that part. And I gotta,
One more over there. A couple more. Where's your little razor to scrape that glass?
It's up there on the top middle shelf to the right, in a Tupperware bowl, like
Right here.
left.
your other left.
There you go. Black handle right there. These things, these little jigs, we just cut the junkest wood that you got.
Oh yeah. You don't.
And cut these things out with a little square, make them,
Get them accurate.
as long as they're 90
Yeah.
and they're big enough to catch what you're working on.
Why is this thing bound up?
Is the wire rubbing on the fuselage?
No, it's somehow it got,
I just broke the blade.
I need some adjustment on the push rod bend, that looks like.
I'm glad you did that, man. It needed replaced anyway.
I can't believe it.
That's all it can be.
Can't believe just trying to scrape the falset off, unless I hit it just right or something. Hit it at an angle.
These are
Just
Chinese.
overbent.
In other words, it's not really good spring tool steel or.
No, these aren't Stanley blades or something like that.
I guess the first thing to do would be to glue this on here.
Now you can just CA the little things in, right?
Here's something I started doing, instead of throwing my
Yeah.
blades in the trash can,
You know, every once in a while you can reuse them and cut them up or something, you know, or.
I've got a bunch of old ones in here
Yeah.
that I keep, and I resharpen them. But they're not good if you want to cut monocoat or something like that with them, but they're good enough to rough cut junk balsa wood or pine or whatever.
Have you ever seen micro mark tools, all that miniature stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Just think if they'd make a sharpener that would put an edge on a surgical edge and make it better than new. Just like how they could sell that sharpener. You know?
I don't see why they couldn't.
Well,
The problem is it'd probably just be too expensive for anybody to want to buy. To sharpen a razor blade, all these things are done with lasers anymore. Razor blades and scalpels are all sharpened by laser.
sticking up a little bit right here. On that tab. It's gonna look like an airplane again.
Yeah.
Using her little scraper upstairs or something. I bet she got the blade out of it and couldn't get the blade back in. What am I doing wrong here? I says, well, everything's got a notch that goes into a notch. I said, if you got something and it's not on a notch, it's wrong.
I got that slot cut off center.
It's probably supposed to.
No.
Well, that's easy to fix.
Oh, yeah, just take this
See,
side, move it to
yeah.
that side.
Is it centered here and
Yeah.
just not centered back here?
No, it's just moved over.
That's all right. It'll give you line tension.
Yeah. But see, I don't have a place in my apartment that I can stand back and look at it like this, you know, I'm doing it.
He can't get back away from it 3 feet.
You're gonna get line tension one or two ways. It's either gonna pull real tight on your handle, or when it comes across the circle, it's gonna be really tight when it gets to the other side.
That's always fun. You did a stress test on the whole control system and your arm and your wrist and your fingers.
Let's see here. I got to work on this horn. This horn is bound up, and when we soldered that thing on there.
I think what the problem is, this angle isn't bit right to go through that hole.
Correct.
That's easy to fix. Yeah, that's cute.
I wish I could find that other one. It's
So we need
only about a half an inch.
need a pair of pliers or something to give her a twist, a big lineman pliers or something.
Well, while I've had this horn, I was using these. It's a duck bill.
You can be able to. That's piano wire. That's not.
Well, that's what I was wondering. So it might take something bigger than that. You might start with that and see if,
No good.
no.
You can't get any shit on it. He got a big pair of lineman pliers, the old 1950s.
Old Kleins.
I can go out to the trailer and get a pipe wrench.
Here we go. We got vice grips.
Or, yeah. There you go.
Them old tools from the 50s.
You can't replace them. I mean, they're still good.
Oh, they're perfect.
Yeah.
No, I got stuff that my grandfather had. My great grandfather had. Oh,
Like I
here's
said, our neighbor had a bunch of wrenches for sale. They're in a tub.
your cat.
Cafe.
Cafe, that's quarter eight.
Have you ever used this, or is this a joke?
It was a joke, actually, but it works.
Yeah, I
I
was
mean,
gonna
it
say.
actually works.
I could see how it would work.
I can't get it with these either.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Take it off the horn before you do that.
Yeah.
Then it won't be in the right orientation. Gonna have to work on that till it's sloppy. See it.
Well, another thing, okay, it's hidden wood right here at the front.
Oh, I raised it up.
It's up against that wood.
Remember when I took that file and filed the bearings up? Yeah, okay. So where's the knife?
Right there.
Hold on a sec. I don't want any dinkers, so.
Well, let me break out the shop vac and hold it up there and it can be.
Better.
It's still hitting right there. It's hitting from about right there that way a little bit, about 1/8 inch.
Cause you know this is the dinker.
Oh yeah, it'll be a dinker if you have it in there.
So what do you do? Connect your phone to your laptop with Bluetooth?
No. That's over the internet.
So what do you go from your phone?
He's on our router.
Oh, so you just,
You glom it onto our system,
okay.
but pull it down into his.
Oh, okay, I got you. So he's taking the phone and you're uploading it to the YouTube app.
Right.
Yeah.
Still tight, but it's better. Why is it tight?
Well, it could be rubbing right here on the fuselage on this wire. You need a little relief around that wire there on each side.
Yeah.
Mine did the same thing. This doggone thing, when I first put it on there, it flopped better than that.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's sort of,
Yeah. Well, give it about 10 or 20 flights, it'll be flopping again.
yeah. But I tried to make it flop, to begin with. When I get the weight of the flaps on there, it's enough that it'll
Yeah.
pull it down. But I made that, that's one I use your horns on. What I got was, did you make a horn, an elevator horn that was bigger in here?
No, the only dog leg horn I ever made for an elevator was that one.
That one right there.
Yeah.
I ended up with one somewhere that's bigger.
Yeah.
It's like this is made from the center there to that flat is what, about 1/4 of an inch?
Yeah.
So like 1/2 inch
More.
elevator
Yeah.
at the most. And then sometimes you still gotta cut out a little bit
Correct.
to let it come on down like that.
Yeah. I told Sparky there's a place out in Greenfield. Well, the people that laser cut that, I think they're still in business. Whether or not they still have a laser cutter, I don't know.
Where are them flaps?
And I said, right here,
Let's put my flaps on it and see what's up with this.
I said, I need to call them up and find out if they
Yeah.
still do it. And he had a place in California. It's like send them the CAD drawing or the file.
Yeah, we're gonna send them the CAD drawing and get some cut.
So
They don't need to be out of chromoly though.
yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, just as easy. Chrome on.
What's the difference? I mean, what's the significant difference? Chrome moly don't bend as easy.
I think, yeah, it's just a better steel.
Well, obviously.
It's
Kind of like carbon fiber. Ooh, it's carbon fiber.
here's the way I look at it. If it costs a couple square feet, X amount of dollars, or X plus 5-10% for chrome moly, and you're already, it's like painting your house. You want a cheap gallon of paint, or you want a good gallon of paint. So you spend another $50 a gallon or $20 a gallon, and that's just a small price of the finished product. It's all the labor. So I don't know. I just put the best materials I could get in
I
it.
didn't know if you actually did some kind of a stress test, because you were noted for doing stuff like that, where you actually.
I'm gonna have to add.
Chrome moly sort of a spring steel,
what they make.
semi-spring steel.
They
Like,
make race car bodies out of it. The tubing.
yeah, the tubing and motorcycle handlebars and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That
So
they'll flex, but they won't bend and stay.
Well, these are dangly.
Yeah.
Never get them lined up. The danglers. When you get them, you got them. Watch out for the glue tubes, they're sticking up.
It's off a little bit, but not a big deal. I just add a piece of wood to the outside flat. That's the way it goes.
But according to that horn, it looks like it needs to go that way by the horn.
There's still a tweak in it that it needs, and I think I'm gonna tweak the horn.
That's probably what it is. That needs to be straightened out more of the 90.
Here, you grab it, you tweak it.
Yeah.
Boy, he's giving you a lot of,
I'll tell you what.
when it comes to tweaking with pliers, I wouldn't do it unless it's my airplane.
You need that out of there.
Good luck.
Well, let me move it up and down while you try to.
Screwdriver. Maybe. How'd you get it out of there?
I took my finger and went.
Oh. Okay, so what does it need?
Now, you got a ball joint up here?
Yes.
It needs to go, like right now, it'll go up to level.
Mm-hmm.
And it go that far down. You need to make that go up as much as it goes down, first of all.
I think I got a ball joint in there, 'cause I can't remember, it's been so long since I built this
That
thing.
plane I've got out there in the truck, it's been so long, I don't know if I've got a slider in it. I gotta cut a hole to see what I got.
I've been known to do that. He doesn't put any access hatches or any in any of his airplanes. He waits till he flies them. If he needs to, he cuts one in.
Right.
I used to put them all in there and line them with 64th inch plywood and have a nice little screwed down hatch and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a ball joint in there.
Just a bunch of extra weight.
Yeah. Just take just a hole, cut it, and then comes time for the hatch, you just put a piece of
Okay.
packing tape over it, cut it real nice.
I tweaked it now, I heard it pop.
Joe Reinhardt used to just put a little arc radius slot in there,
Yeah.
about just enough to get an 1/8 inch.
Yeah, ball drive right in
Okay,
there.
so is that better?
Now it's the opposite. You went too far.
Let's make sure these are flopping still. Yeah. I mean, it would probably work itself in, but
That looks good.
it needs to be tweaked back. It's okay. Okay. No. Didn't do shit.
Now see, when I put my wing in my fuse, I do it differently. Of course, he can't do it because the way his nose and leading edge interlock. I cut the bottom out. and-
That's the old way.
Yeah, I-
Yeah, and slide it in
so the
there.
flaps and everything are on there. But like I said, you can't do that with that configuration with the tank.
Grab your big pair of lineman pliers. I know you got a pair.
They're not in here. Did you look in here?
Probably not good enough because I don't know where to look.
I got monkey's wrench.
No, well, another pair of vice grips would probably work. Except it might eat up the push rod a little bit. I need to get a extension cord on this and get Now we're still at 68%.
Okay, does anybody need anything while I'm upstairs, something to drink, or?
I'm good.
We got a Diet Dr. Pepper, 7-Up, Pepsi.
I'm good, John. Yeah, I'm fine. You want anything, Spark?
No.
Mine expired.
Where do you get that?
Yeah, it's like a clunk tank.
It is.
Yeah.
That's the bunghole.
Yeah. Nice and shiny. So, is this a stunt tank?
Oh, yeah.
Did John turn that on the way?
Yeah.
Slick.
Too heavy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. A little bit. I mean, it could be lighter.
If it was out of fiberglass to be lighter.
Yeah. Yeah, I kept looking at it. I sit here and look at something for about 10 minutes, and then finally I've got to pick it up and say, okay, what's the deal? Yeah, John's wing looks good.
Yeah.
Is that the same wing as what you have here?
Yeah. He's got more white paint in his dope than I do, though.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any white paint when I did this. Yeah, them babies.
I tell you what, you're gonna break something.
Be careful.
No, that moved it.
Yeah.
Gotta have the right tool.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes he scares the ever living crap out of me.
Got to have the right tool.
Hey, look at these. Look at the CA. Hang in there. I don't want that falling into your wing.
I'm just hanging around here.
Can't get it from this side very good. Come on. See if you can get it. There it is. That seems loose. Slid in there pretty nice. Oh yeah.
That's more bitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks more gooder.
Huh?
It looks more gooder. Sounds more gooder.
And you have to
You gotta hold your mouth right when you're trying to line that thing up. You gotta hold. You don't have your mouth just
Did
right.
you watch his mouth when he had those lineman pliers on there?
yeah.
He's sitting there. Oh God, don't break. Oh God, don't break.
Well, if he did, it's just get out the copper wire and splice in another piece, you know? That's the way you used to do push rods. Remember, you take two pieces
Yeah.
of bishop wire and get it to where it needs to be and then wrap it with copper and solder it.
Yeah.
So you think you're using the same flux, huh?
It's similar. It's a different type of container, but
Yeah. Probably comes out of the same warehouse, the same,
I got it from McMaster Car or
Yeah.
something, you know, and it's just a water soluble.
it's white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks identical to that stuff, except
Probably.
mine's dried up more.
Probably is identical.
Well, it comes in a tub that's about that big around, about that tall, and those lids don't close
Well-
tight like that kind.
Well, I used to have, when I did it a lot, I used to have a big tub, and you're right, they go closed and they still suck air.
Yeah.
Fast forward to now, I don't need a tub, that's the smallest size they have.
Yeah,
So
that's what I got, was the small size they had at the time,
Which was the tub.
which was the tub. get to it now.
Oh, that's all right.
But it's just like
that.
this.
Yeah,
It's identical. This is another. This is for brazing too,
yeah.
but it's
It's not bad, just reconstitute it with some distilled water. Aluminum powder, brazing flux.
yeah. This is for
Yeah, pipes.
MIG or TIG welding or
Yeah. Yeah, some of the plumbers use aluminum powder or powdered fluxes.
I need to work on that nose to try to get them dents out.
Well, it's 1:30.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do some eating here sometime? Well, it's 1:00. I'm sorry, 1:07.
I bet you're starving.
I can hardly sit on this stool, I'm so famished.
Then-
So Wynn's gonna come by here and blow him away.
We can do some eating, and then we'll go out in the garage and do some doping.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever you wanna do, it doesn't matter.
The rest of this is gonna have to be done at home. I mean,
Well, yeah, you can't. You gotta super fill all that stuff. You
put
gotta.
that in there.
It's don't worry about that airplane I've got up there. I mean, I can always do that at home. A lot of guys don't realize this, but I've got a method to this finishing.
Yeah.
First thing you do is you kiln dry the airplane for 20 years. And then you gotta wait 6 months in between coats of dope for it to gas out.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
and then once you get that down, I mean,
You're in my
Yeah.
fun at that point in time. Boy, when you go sand on that puppy, that stuff will just powder right
Yeah.
off like
Yeah.
the avalanche of dust
Oh,
that's
yeah.
sitting on top of it.
I mean, Sparky's probably sanding green lumber here. It's so fast.
Well, hell yeah. They grow these doggone trees in about 3 years, and then they harvest them all when they're about that big around.
Now tell me, in 3 or 4 years, they get a balsa tree that's 80 foot tall or whatever. Can we grow balsa here
No.
somewhere? No, wait a minute, not 4 years, but there's gotta be, we can get one season out of it instead of having an 80 tree, 10 foot. I mean, I could go with 10 foot
Yeah, but the
top rock.
problem is, you need a tree that's growing for 15 years and not 3 or 5 years, because the tree's gotta be able to get this big before you start getting really light wood out of it.
Oh, is that what it
That's
is?
my theory. And I don't know if that's for a fact, but they're harvesting all these trees 12 to 18 inches in diameter in
And they're
3 years.
They're too tough.
And they'll only produce so light of wood.
Yeah.
So a long, slow growth or something like that, I'm sure you can find out exactly, but that's my theory. is
They
that
won't grow here.
Well, no, it won't grow here because the climate isn't right. It takes a tropical rainforest type climate.
Well, stop and think about it. Our growing season here in Indiana or Ohio is a couple months in the spring and a couple months in the fall because it gets so hot, it sort of everything goes dormant.
Yeah.
So that's, let's say, 4 months out of the year. So if you got a year-round climate like the tropical jungles down there, so you've got, 60% more growth every year because it's all year long.
Right.
So to grow, it might take 3 or 4 years. That'd be like 12 in Indiana. So. Is this your biscuit joiner?
No, that's just a drill.
No.
I think my biscuit joiner's out in the garage. I think the cable.
So you think you'd be able to use those oak boards?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'll join them things together and rip them down to whatever width I need them, and the biggest thing is the fact that it's white out, and it's
Yeah.
really still a little red. But that's all we're gonna get. I'm gonna have to, when it comes time to do that, I'm gonna have to get with you, because you've got some finishing stuff,
Well, when you do those,
theories and logic and whatnot.
when you do those things, if you cut the ends off, save them, that'll be your test pieces for your stain. You'll have something to work with that match what you've got.
Not quite.
So it's pretty good. It's got a pretty sleek profile. Really, it's got a neat look to it. You know, it's
Looks like an impact.
Yeah, right.
I was thinking a Magnum. I was thinking a Magnum.
Well, he was working on a Magnum before.
Yeah. Where is that Magnum spark? Hanging up?
Nope, it's in pieces in at my apartment.
Okay.
That's how much it's off right there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll get it. I got the hard part done.
Did you get all this glued in with the thick stuff on top bottom?
Yeah, it's close enough. Excuse me.
Yeah, it does need.
Yeah, whatever. Grab onto it. I'm gonna put the bottom on it. Where's your foam block, foam pad?
Up there.
You got it?
Yeah.
That's not the pad I was thinking of, but your foam pad.
It's on the floor over here behind you, but this will work.
You know, this is also a protractor.
A protractor.
Yeah.
I didn't really look at that first.
Right down here. See that?
Oh yeah, you can go on a radius.
Yeah, so in other words, you could set up something here. It goes down. I mean, and then you'd rotate this here, the body.
Right.
You know, you set your 0 or whatever, and then you could just rotate it.
Yeah, it's okay.
You told me once, and it was
Nothing
nothing.
but.
Yeah. Yeah, you told me that
It's
once.
probably out of calibration. They probably dropped it or something, you know, they got out of calibration.
What's it worth? Probably 700, 800.
Yeah.
That's what they paid new for, or more.
It's one of them deals. You walked into it, and boy, I would have been pissed had I not had the money. And in fact, I don't think I really had the money at the time. And I went ahead and sort of spent some gas money, you know, and said, "Well, I'll worry about that later."
So here's another beautiful thing of this. See these threads in there?
Yeah.
Those threads are cut in increments of the scale.
Yeah.
So when you click on that, and there's a fence system called an incremental. It's the same thing. So when you disengage these teeth from the threaded, right there, and you engage them, it automatically locks in 1/32 increments. And that's what it's doing here. So you can't really screw up here, cause it's like dead on it.
Well, this is a quick release too,
Yeah.
and you can zip it up and down and
Right.
get your first initial alignment.
But it's perfectly repeatable.
Yeah,
I mean-
and I also got some different ends for it,
Right.
a couple different ends.
But I mean, you could take this thing, okay, 3 inches or on the 3, and if you need to go, you can get it exactly on the 3 because of
Yeah,
that.
you can screw this up and down, and that's your fine tuning.
Yeah. So in other words, well, okay, I see, you fine tune,
That goes that's up and down, fine tuned to get it exactly right. Like if you were on a surface plate or something.
so, okay, so there's 3 inches, and if you want to go 3 inches 10 thousandths, you just go 3 inches 10 thousandths.
Yeah.
That's your thousandths.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you did well, you got a deal.
$20.
Now I made some of those that's very similar to that myself. I took an oak base and I make a little sort of like home plate,
Yeah,
sort of elongated home plate thing, and I run a dowel rod up on one end. I glued a big giant washer onto it as a base weight. And on that upright, I made a little wedge that looks like that wedge that's on that with a hole through it for that dowel rod. And I put a little thumb screw
yeah,
in it and then tighten down on that dowel rod.
yeah,
Super simple, worked great for a model airplane, you know, and it's all wood.
yeah,
It's the same principle as that, except
wood.
it's wood, and you can't screw it up and down. You just gotta unlock it and move it and lock it back down. But
Well, we got a guess on the weight of this?
As it sits right there on the scale,
Yeah.
40. Am I close?
30, 31, 30, 40, 50.
Is that a gram scale?
Yeah, it's big grand.
21.8.
Is that good? Is that what you're shooting for?
Yeah.
I'd like to have it painted with no engine, no tank at 24.
21.8.
They got 21.8, you got 22 ounces of hardware or 6 ounces of paint.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be 58 ounces.
21
And then you got 2 mystery
Plus
ounces. There's
22.
always 2 mystery ounces.
plus 6. 49. You do 51, 52 on it.
John Ferris says I'm right, it does look like an impact.
Yeah, right. No news from the peanut gallery.
Boy, I'm really tickled with that came out. You feel that? That feels so doggone smooth.
Half the peanut gallery's sitting right here, the 3 of us.
Three Musketeers.
Well, I think I'll be able to get it from there.
Getting the wing and the fuselage straight, fuselage on there straight is 90% of it. All this stuff is later. Get this moved over. At least out here you got the room you can step back and see.
Yeah,
Eyeball it.
Well, I like
You're not even working on a flat table, you're working on a banana.
yeah, it goes like that.
I like the lines of your plane. You're pleasing.
Well, I guess we're gonna eat lunch. Really appreciate you guys watching. We'll be back after lunch. We'll be out in the garage doping. I gotta fix a hole somebody poked in my wing.
I heard about that for the
It's
next
so small.
20 years.
I bet it's a 1/16 of an inch in diameter.
Yeah, it's
3/32. It's so small.
It's the size of one of them corners right there is what it is.
yeah. 21 ounce.
If you want to wrap your lines, you can use this line wrapping tool.
I don't know where this came from, John, out of a tube or something.
Out of that tube, wherever they went to. Yeah, put them up.
I don't see it back here.
I
I'll just say
might
it.
here. Let me have it. I'll stick it up.
It's not quite perfect, but I'll pull it in and sand it straight. It'll be close enough. As long as it stays out on the end of the line, we're fine.
That's like, Dan, you know, you see all that wood?
Yeah.
There's a lot of wood there.
Oh, I know.
There's $5,000 or $6,000 worth of wood there, probably at old prices. But there ain't a piece in there that's under 5.5 pounds.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's all good wood.
But it's nice looking wood. It's got nice clean grain and everything, but
Just
it weighs too
yeah.
much.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I was buying a lot of wood and I started doing airplane stuff for RC guys, and there were some cases where the wood was too soft. I had to actually start buying heavier wood for some of these things, you know.
Yeah. You see, those are all 5.5 pound plus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I don't know, I hate to guess what I've got.
And as you go down towards the bottom, it gets heavier and heavier and heavier.
Down here,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then, you know, if you want to see real heavy, you can get here and you got like 12 pound or something,
Oh, yeah.
10 pound, 12 pound, and
I got this much wood right here
Mhm.
in my little, probably more, in my little apartment.
Yeah.
And I got this much wood in St. Louis, but it's all shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to find an RC guy who needs wood that would pay me for it,
Yeah.
but that ain't gonna
Well,
happen.
once I start building, I'll pay you.
did you see that? Did you
I'll
see
pay you
that
what it's
guy?
worth. I mean,
Did you see that guy that advertised his contest grade wood
what was it,
online?
7 pound or?
That's
6
Scott.
to 9
Yeah,
pound wood or something like that. Contest grade wood.
yeah, no, that was nice.
Well, some of that stuff in
Yeah.
that box is really nice. Others, that's a log. I just bought that from the.
Well, guys, I
hospital.
appreciate you watching. We'll,
I can't
we'll be
remember.
back after lunch.
It was a buck,
Yeah.
probably, you know.
Fair winds, tight lines. See you after we eat. That was a 3.5 hour video.